All right, everybody, welcome back. So I want to spend a few minutes today and ask a question. How many of you out there have bad habits? Now, you know what I'm talking about. Those dirty little character traits that drive everybody in your life absolutely crazy. So let's take a minute and talk about bad habits, or as I like to refer to them, natural gifts. Every day I'm surrounded by these amazing people who have these gifts and are completely unaware of them. In fact, most of the people that have these gifts are ashamed of them. They call them bad habits. And I want to explain to you why. You see, most of the time there are barriers in our life. I'm going to use myself as an example. For most of my life, people have been on me about certain character traits that I have that they consider bad habits. One of them is I've been told my entire life that I talk too much. They say, oh, well, that guy, he's going to talk your ear off. The other thing that they say is that I'm constantly giving people advice, or I feel that I have to chime in. Not everybody wants my opinion. But I want to challenge you for a minute, because if you look at those two bad habits have become a huge part of my life. I now, as a professor, get paid to talk for a living. Here I am at Winning at Life. I am giving you advice. I am a leader. I'm in charge of people, so I'm giving them advice on how I think that they should do their job. These natural gifts that have annoyed so many people in my personal life have ended up being great tools for success in my life. So I want to challenge you with a new way of thinking. I want to explore some of the natural gifts that people are constantly maybe ridiculed for, and I want to show you the good versus the bad. A lot of people will say, that person, well, they're compulsive. You need to learn to let things go. Well, think about that for a minute. If you're compulsive, naturally compulsive, you're also extremely focused. You're committed. You're going to pursue something at a higher level than most people will think of going after that. Let's say maybe you're impulsive. You're willing to just jump in at a moment's notice, both feet ready to go. The world needs more people like that. People may tell you, well, you need to learn to say no. Or they can encourage you and say, you know what? I need to be more like you. If you are somebody who maybe is giddy, you probably take the most ridicule at all. Have we not all met those people in our life where we go, there's no way anybody could be that happy? Well, maybe there is. Maybe, just maybe, this person is extremely energetic and extremely motivated, and this is the type of person that you need in your life to get you off of your butt and motivate you to do more with every single day, except for feel sorry for yourself. We all need more of this in our life. If this is what people want to call bad habits, then so be it. Give me all the bad habits you want, because the way that I see it, these are natural gifts. These are things that have been put in my life that have allowed me to become successful. I was asked the other day to help identify some of the things that I've done in my life that have led me to be more successful. The individual that asked me the question said, I've noticed a few things about you, that you seem to be more committed, that you're more dedicated, you have such good personal discipline, and you stay with things so much longer than most people. What do you do that allows you to be that way? And I'll be honest with you, when I was first asked the question, I had no idea. I just thought, well, I've never really considered myself driven or more dedicated than the average person. So it made me really stop and reflect on what I was doing in my life that allowed me to be this way. And the answer was obviously simple. It was natural gifts that I possessed that allowed me to be successful. I'm going to talk about those real quick. One, I'm impulsive, right? Being impulsive allows me to jump into things with both feet. I don't hesitate. Once something intrigues me, once it catches my attention, and I decide this is what I want to do, baby, you better brace yourself because I'm coming. I will jump in with both feet, and this is my new thing. Secondly, I'm compulsive, right? When I get fixated on something, I stay fixated on it. This is called focus. I will focus on a project, and this will become all that I can do, all that I can think about, and this is my new thing. When this is applied to something good in my life, like, I don't know, get a degree, start a YouTube business, then I am extremely focused and dedicated because I'm naturally compulsive. The last thing in my life was a little bit more difficult to identify, but this bad habit is called being a perfectionist. You see, there's something about me that a lot of people know and don't know. And that is the fact that when my name is attached to something, it has to be right. I don't do anything halfway. If you give me a project and my name is attached to that project, I will do everything that I can to ensure that that project is the very best that it can possibly be. Why? Because my name's on that. I have this personal pride and this reputation to adhere to that when my name is attached to something, it's got to be right. And this doesn't matter what it is. If this is a YouTube video that I'm shooting, if it's a piece of furniture that I'm building for my home, if it's a school project, if it is a work project, it does not matter. If Anthony's name is on it, it's got to be right. And you see, those three natural gifts, when you combine them together, the results are powerful. That's where my education came from. That's how I became an enrolled agent. That's how I maintained the discipline in my life and my family. That's how I maintained the discipline in the martial arts. That's why I had my own Muay Thai business. There are things that I was able to achieve because I had drive and focus and passion, and it had to be done right. On the flip side, guys, I have been ridiculed for these things for most of my life, just like you. And there's one little piece of information that I want to wrap this up with. Natural gifts, as good as they are, can be dangerous. You need to set rules, boundaries, and limitations around your natural gifts to protect yourself against them taking over your life. I told you that I'm compulsive and I'm focused and I'm driven. This can consume your life. From the very beginning of my activities, I find ways to set up rules, boundaries, and limitations for those activities so that I can maximize the success from those activities without allowing them to take over my life. You need to recognize the dangers of your own natural gifts and put in place rules, boundaries, limitations to achieve the most out of those gifts and avoid the dangers. Your natural gifts are a defining trait of who you are. Don't be ashamed of your gifts. Look for the opportunities to maximize your natural gifts and use them to empower you to become the very best version of yourself that you can possibly be. These gifts were given to you for a reason, and that reason was to be shared with the world. That reason was for you to find fulfillment. That reason was so that you can be successful. Don't let the world tell you you have bad habits. The next time somebody tells you they don't like your bad habit, you tell them, don't worry, it's a natural gift. If you enjoyed the content of this video, make sure that you hit like at the bottom. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss future videos. Come find us on Facebook, and remember, if you want to win at life, you have to win today.